What's up, everybody? This is Russell. I just jumped in the Tesla. I'm driving to the office, and I got something cool I want to share with you. We had a chance to go to a wrestling auction this week, and some of the salesmanship and marketing principles that I saw were amazing, and so I want to talk through them and how you can apply them to your business.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you guys are excited. I've had a good week this week. I'm working on some fun projects with the mushifying of Dan Kennedy's company with ClickFunnels, and a new offer is coming out and a bunch of stuff. And so I wake up every morning at 5 this week, and I've just been excited and got a lot of work done. It's been good. You know that feeling like when you're excited about something, how much easier it is to wake up and do the thing? It's been a while since I felt that way. In fact, last night I was thinking, when was the last time I was this excited about working on something in the business? And if I'm honest with myself, it was when the Traffic Secret book launched, which is, almost like 2 years ago now. Is that right? A year and a half ago? Anyway, it just feels good to be doing something fun. So hopefully all you guys got something fun you're working on, because it just makes everything else better. Anyway, as you guys know, I'm a wrestler. My ears are all cauliflowered up, and my kids, some of them like wrestling, some hate wrestling, but I've got one stronghold who loves wrestling, and so, which is great. And so we went to the wrestling banquet this year where they were raising money for the wrestling team, and so we were there ready to support and help donate money so that the team can, get the stuff we need to be a good team. And I also help coach, so I'm one of the coaches too. But anyway, we go to the wrestling banquet, and in the past they used to do a spaghetti feed where they have spaghetti, everyone would come, the wrestlers would serve the people, and they'd have like a silent auction. And I think they said the best year ever was like $6,000 raised. I think the average year is like $4,000 or $5,000. So that's kind of the context of where we're starting at. So this time around, they met one of the coach's wife or someone met these guys who do auctions. They're an auction company, and they go up there, and instead of just like having a silent auction where people bid on stuff, they have like an auctioneer up top, and he's like doing can I get five, all that kind of stuff like that they do, right? And so it was weird because it was in a bar, so they didn't invite kids, so just the parents. So first we were kind of like, this is weird, like I don't know how it's gonna work. Like they still had silent auction, and we bid on some things, whatever. And then we had dinner, and then after dinner, they had the auctioneers get up and start the process. And this is where the marketing gold started happening. And as a marketing nerd that I am, I was just like freaking out, like watching the process and how they did it and how they were able to get the room excited about giving up money. And spoiler alert, when it was all said and done, they raised almost $40,000 for wrestling. So a lot. And that's not counting, we gave extra donations on top of it. So it's just like the rest of the people, right? Which was really, really cool. And so a couple of things. The first thing they did, the auctioneers got up there. The first thing they had to do is they had to build rapport with the audience, because by default, you're like, oh, these guys are going to sell me something, and so there's no rapport. So they get up there, and they start telling their stories, who they are, and how their family business, and how they get into this, and they just kind of told these stories and jokes really quickly to try to build rapport as quick as they could, right? So that was the first thing. Second thing is they had to train everybody how to buy. And this was really fascinating. What they did initially is, okay, we're going to get this auction process started. We're going to teach you guys how it works. And they held up $500 cash. We're going to start with $500 cash. And the way that you can win this $500 cash is if you buy a $20 thing, like you bid $20 or you pay $20, and you get a chance to win this $500, right? So who would pay $20 for a chance to win $500? And all the money goes to wrestling, so it's going to be good, right? So started doing this, and I don't know how many people did it, but most of the audience put in their $20 to win this thing, and they had a lot of energy, and it was fun, it was exciting. And at the end of it, they drew somebody, and someone won the $500. They got the $500, and the person gave the $500 back to just to put it in towards wrestling. And so from that one little exercise, they raised $1,500 for wrestling, right? The $500 came back, and then the $20 bills, there's $1,000 worth of $20 orders that went through really quickly. And so they made $1,500. But that first thing, it was interesting because you're paying $20 for a chance to win 500. So it's like a no-brainer, like, oh, I'll just try it. But what they were really doing, if you look at the strategies, they were teaching people how to bid, right? For someone like me who'd never been in an auction before, I didn't know how to hold the paddle and how it worked and, all those kind of things. And so this gave us the ability to learn at a very low risk thing. Where the worst case, you lose $20, right? Best case, you win 500. So it's like a really, risk reward thing was very, 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 very easy to say yes to. And it's interesting because training the audience is so important in everything you're doing. In fact, I remember I learned this originally from Bill Glazer at their super conferences. Day number 1, they would do a charity offer where he had this whole swipe file book. He's like, hey, you pay $100 to charity, you get the book. And everyone ran back and they closed like most of the room. In fact, I remember running back and had a $100 bill and giving the $100 bill, getting this book. And it was like the first time I had seen that happen. I didn't understand it until my next mastermind meeting when Bill Glazer got up and explained his strategy. He said, day number 1, my biggest goal in the event is to train the audience how to buy. Because I don't want them trying to figure out how to buy when I'm doing my high ticket $25,000 sell, right? I want them to know how to buy on something that's low risk, that's not scary. And so he's like, day number 1, I always do a charity thing. Because number 1, it builds rapport because you're helping people. Number 2, you're actually helping people, which is awesome. And number 3, though, it trains the audience on how to buy. And so they learn how to stand up, they learn where to go, they learn how to go, they learn where the forms are at. They go through the whole process once, and then when you ask them to buy 2 days later, they already know how to do it. They're not confused, right? And so you're training the audience how to buy it. So again, the auctioneers did that. They trained us how to buy something that was super low risk. We do it at our Funnel Hacking Live events. Bill Glazer did it at their events, where we're training people how to stand up, go to the back of the room, give money on something that's very low risk, right? And so that's how we've done it at events. But how could you do it during your webinars? How could you do it during, there's so many things that you could leverage that idea. It's like how to train the audience how to buy something small before you're asking them for the big purchase. So that's the first thing. Next thing, they go out there and they start auctioning off these different packages. And I wish I would have had a pad of paper notes. The night that it happened, I was just like freaking out about everything. But I kind of just remember the core things that stuck out. So next thing is, it wasn't just one dude on stage doing the auction, right? That's how I would have thought it was going to be. But the auctioneer had like 4 or 5 people in the audience walking around. So people in the audience are doing a couple things. Number 1 is they were making noise. So it felt like, even though there wasn't a lot of people bidding, it felt like there was, because you could hear the people out in the audience talking, and their seeds out in the audience talking and creating energy and creating momentum and social proof that people were bidding. And so they were walking around, and as they were doing that, they started figuring out, like, who are the people that want this offer, right? And so the people in the audience would see, like, okay, this person bid 50, this person bid 100, this person bid 150. So they start looking at the people who are bidding. So then it starts isolating from the entire audience, like, here's the 5 or 6 people that are bidding. And as you get closer and closer, the people that are in the audience walking around, the auctioneers, partners, or whatever you call them, they start identifying, okay, these are the 3 people that want this. And so then they hone in on those people, and as the auction's happening, they're like he said 250, you want to do 3, and then like they're kind of like helping push and like urge them to bid up. And so the person bids up, the next person goes back, and so now it's all these auctioneers are standing side by side with the 2 or 3 whales in the audience who are going to buy, and using that as a way to up the bid, like get a movement higher to the point where these things that probably would have sold for $50 at a silent auction were selling for $1,500 or $2,000 because of the way the process worked. And it was really, really fascinating. And so I started seeing that. And so, how could you replicate that? You could replicate it in a lot of ways, right? Like in an event, you could replicate that when it's creating social proof. Like you think about, when you get a table rush. If you don't get a table rush, it's hard because nobody moves, right? But if you can get people to stand up and run to the back of the room, as soon as a couple of people run back and people see that, it creates social proof. Like I remember, during my Funnel Hacking Live presentation, when I was speaking a lot on stages and doing the whole process like that, I remember I would usually, the very first time I dropped the price, it's weird because usually like 1 or 2 people to get up. And at first I was feeling all awkward, like, oh man, like only 2 people got up. I don't want to say anything. So I kept going through the rest of my pitch and going through things, and over the pitch, more people would go. And I remember this one time I was doing the pitch, and I got up and I got to the point where I showed the price, and there were 2 or 3 people that jumped up, and I don't remember why, but some reason it startled me, or I was like, oh wow. And I kind of stopped and I said, whoa. I'm like, those people right there, they get it. They've already started moving. And I pointed to the people that were walking towards the back of the room, like jogging towards the back of the room to buy. And everyone else stopped and looked back, and they saw like 30 people running. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, this is legit. And I don't want to be in the back of the line. And all of a sudden the next person popped up. And all of a sudden like it was this like sprint to the back, and it created this table rush. And it's kind of the similar process as like is like, if you get one or two people who are going to buy, right? They're starting to walk the back of the room. Don't just like be secret about it. Like call that, like, oh my gosh, like I haven't got the pitch yet. Look at these guys are already in the back room buying. Dude, you know the prices yet? You're already in? And they're like, yeah, I'm already in. Like, oh my gosh, like they get it. If you guys get this, you know this is the way. Like just like you have my permission, stand up and go right now, right? And we create this thing and they start moving. It was just really cool to be able to see these marketing and sales principles that we use in different places used here inside of this auction to raise money for wrestling. And so I started thinking, one of my first mentors, I've had a lot of really good mentors in life. One of them was Jay Abraham. And what Jay Abraham taught me really well was to look at things happening in other industries and how do you model them for yours. And so really like my goal with this was to kind of share with you guys a couple just quick examples from the auction, but hopefully open up your eyes so you start seeing all the sales and marketing happening around you, right? You look at ClickFunnels, we launched our dream car contest. Like people are like, how'd you come up with that? I'm like, because I looked over at this other industry, the network marketing industry, and they give away cars to people and it gets people to go crazy to build up their companies. I was like, we're going to take that concept from this industry and move it over, right? From the auction industry, like I saw what they did over here. Next time we do our fundraiser, Fun Lacking Live, I'm going to do things differently because what I learned over here, right? So it's looking at other industries besides your own, looking at what they are doing, how are they marketing, how are they doing sales, how can you replicate that and pull that into your business? And I hope that's the principle I kind of got to today is just understanding that like there's amazing marketing sales happening in so many places. There's businesses, industries that have proven stuff, right? This auction industry, these guys have been doing this for a decade. They have a whole family does this. They test it, they tweak it. I'm sure that they've done 1,000 auctions a year. They test all these things and how to say it and when to say it and all the different subtleties, how do you say that word, of how to make it work. And so you can come look at that and see the process and just be, it's like sitting there at school learning how to increase your sales online. And so keep your eyes open, watch other industries, see what they're doing, click on every ad you see because you have no idea where it's going to, what rabbit hole it's going to take you down, what you're going to learn, what you're going to discover for your own business as well. And I hope that helps. One other side tangent, I did this recently. I had my wife's phone. I thought it was mine. I grabbed it, opened up Facebook, and I was like, this is not my Facebook because she follows different ads and different people. So the ads she's retargeted with are completely different than mine. And I was like fascinated. I started clicking on her ads, started taking me on this magical wonderland of offers and products and funnels I'd never seen before, all because I looked from a different lens. So same thing, look at, go to Facebook, create a fake profile and like things that are the opposite of what you normally look and start seeing what ads show up and what things you can learn from different industries. And it gets really powerful. So hope it helps. Thanks so much for everything. And I'll talk to you guys all again soon. Bye, everybody. Hey everybody, this is Russell again, and really quick, I just opened up a texting community, which means you can text me your questions, and right now I'm spending anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes every single day answering questions through text message to people who are on the podcast. And so I wanted you to stop everything you're doing, pull your phone out and actually text me a message, okay? Now the phone number you need to text is 208-231-3797. Once again, it's 208-231-3797. When you text me, just say hello, and then what's going to happen is it'll add you to my phone, and then it'll send you back a message where you can add me to your phone, and then we can start having conversations. On top of that, through this texting community is where I'm going to be giving out free swag, giving away free copies of my book, let you know about book signings, about times I'm coming to your local area, and a whole bunch more. So I want to make sure you are on this list. On top of that, every single day I'm sending out my favorite quotes, my favorite frameworks, and things you can get for free only through my texting platform. So what you need to do right now is pull out your phone and text me at area code 208-231-3797. One more time, that's 208-231-3797. I can't wait to hear from you right now.